Welcome to the Crazy Cool Family Podcast with Don and Suzanne Manning. Parents, what if we could give you the power to transform your family into something absolutely amazing?
A family where everyone is healthy, gets along, loves Jesus, and has great purpose in life.
Hey, let us flip your thinking to unlock the power God has given you to create your own Crazy Cool family. Hey, Crazy Cool parents, welcome to the Crazy Cool Family Podcast with Don and Suzanne Manning.
Yep, we are at episode 86. In case you were wondering, I had to say that because that's actually the year I graduated from high school. I'm old, aren't I, guys? Yeah, I am.
But she looks good. You can't see her though because we're doing a podcast. But hey, today we're going to talk about a word that is so troubling to parents in so many ways, and we hear about it all the time. And it's not sex, and it's not drugs, and it's not alcohol. It is respect.
Right.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T in the words of Aretha Franklin.
Yes, thank you that she taught all of our children how to spell that through a song.
That's right. So we hear parents all the time say things like, my children, and especially as they get older, although it can happen with a 4-year-old. I mean, my kids don't respect me.
Right.
They yell at me. They disrespect me.
How do I get my kids to respect me? Why don't my kids respect me? They're just constantly asking those questions because as parents, you're absolutely right. We have got to have our kids respect us. I mean, we've actually done a podcast on respect already. It's episode 48.
Yeah, that's not when I graduated from high school.
Nor when you were born.
That's right. Exactly.
And that one was called Give Respect and Be Someone That You Can't, that they can respect.
Very practical podcast.
Super practical, yeah. And so with this one, though, we were really thinking about it. We want to really dig into what respect means and what is it that causes the breakdown of respect.
And how you earn respect. Because really, parents, the theme of today is that when you see a lack of respect in your relationship, then that should be with your kids. And that should be a huge red flag. So those 3 words are kind of the theme of today, a huge red flag.
It's a giant red flag, a giant, huge, massive, enormous. That's more than 3 words.
That's like 7 words now.
Just a red flag.
Yeah.
But just that to make you aware that the relationship needs help, that there is something wrong. It is not okay for you to have a lack of respect in the relationship. And so you would pull in a fresh perspective, a change in the way you're interacting with each other. And that's what we want to talk about today, a fresh perspective and a change in the way you interact with each other.
With any relationship that you see, if you've been around Crazy Cool Family for a little while, you know that relationship breakdowns are always red flags. That means that we need to do something about it. And usually, parents, you know that what we're going to say is that means that it starts with you, the parent. It doesn't start with changing your kid. It starts with changing you. And so as what we want to do today is teach you more about how to understand respect and then also what to do about it. And so, and what respect really is.
Yeah, and so if you will see respect as a very powerful way to connect in the relationship, if you'll see it as that, because what happens is so many people misunderstand the correlation of giving and being given respect. Did you know that respect is actually a noun and a verb? It's both of those things. And I think the breakdown happens because we expect the verb. We expect the action of respect to be given to us.
We expect our kids to give us respect.
Yes, and to treat us respectfully, but we're not being the noun. We're not deserving of the action of respect. We're being a brat, or we're being not reasonable. We're being hard to deal with. We're being
talking too much.
Impossible. And we're going to go through the things that make kids disrespect us.
Well, think about this, parents. If your kids feel like respecting you, if there is a feeling in them of respect, it's going to be easier for them to do the verb. If the noun is the feeling, it's how they feel about it.
Well, so just to define that is a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. And so that's the definition. So I love it that you picked up the word feeling.
Because what we want you to do, parents, parents, is to cultivate the feeling of respect in your children by your actions and by your thoughts and your interactions with them, so that it becomes easy for them to give the verb respect to you.
Yeah, and the verb's definition is super simple. It's to admire someone or something deeply as a result of their abilities, qualities, or achievements. And so the way I look at it is the noun is to have and the verb is to give.
Yep.
The noun is like
think
a
about
position. It's who you are, but the verb is something that you do.
Think about it when you were in school.
Yeah.
And you had maybe teachers. So you were supposed to respect all your teachers. But some of them just were very hard to respect because they didn't do what they said they were going to do, or they were really controlling.
Or they were harsh and they yelled for control.
Yeah, but you had certain teachers that you admired and respect, maybe coaches or whoever they were, a band director or something, and you would die for them because they earned your respect, and it was easy to do what they said, and you wanted to please them. You wanted to do what they said. But both teachers, the hard one and the easy one, or the good ones and the bad ones, whatever you want to say, both of them you were supposed to respect. But it was so much easier to respect the ones that you admired.
Or like the police officer. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been pulled over. Not that I'm a bad driver or anything like that, but the police officers that treated me with kindness and respect. Hello, ma'am, did you realize that you were 10 miles over the speed limit? Versus the ones that were a jerk to me, I had a hard time respecting those.
And so respect is a biblical principle. You know, the scripture says, love one another with brotherly affection. Outdo one another in showing honor, Romans 12:10. And, you know, as parents say, we are supposed to get respect from our kids. You know, Romans 13:7 says, pay to all what is owed to them, taxes to whom taxes are owed, revenue to revenue, respect to whom respect is owed, honor to whom honor is owed. So parents a lot of times are saying, well, hey, they should respect me because I'm their parent. You ever hear that, Suzanne?
Oh, yeah, all the time, for sure. And that goes back to the authority. There is, I mean, it does mean you are to be given respect because of the position that you hold. There is respect to be given there. And what is crazy is in our society today, there is a major breakdown in the honoring of authority. It's therefore our kids don't ever see an example of it. I mean,
but as a parent, if you're going, here's what we'll tell you. If you're going to rely on that your kid is supposed to respect you, or if you're going to do it out of fear, or you're going to do it out of...
have them respect you because of fear.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to do it because it's what they're supposed to do. How much does that work out for you, parents?
Well, you're missing it. I mean, that's what we're trying to say. The red flag is if they're not showing you respect, then because you're going after respect the wrong way. You're going after it because you think you deserve it. And the reality is that you deserve it because you are worthy of it, because you are respectful, because you are taking care of them. You're extending respect to give it back.
So when the red flag in the relationship comes, you want to do things to change that, to generate the feeling so it becomes easier for your kids to respect you and not rely on the standard of honor that they're supposed to uphold. That's always hard for us to do. It's going to be hard for your kids, just like it's hard for you.
Remember, it goes back to the mirroring. They're going to mirror what they're shown. Matthew 7:12 says, so whatever you wish that others would do to you, or you want your kids to respect you, right? And so whatever you wish others to do to you, do also to them, for this is the law of the prophets. And so that right there, Matthew tells us that if we want to be respected, if we want to get respected, we have to give it. It's a give and take. It's a two-way street. And the more respect that you give your children, show your children, noun your children, put them in that position of respect, then it's all they know to do that back to you, because that's all they've seen.
So we ask kids and some teenagers, we ask them two questions.
Young adults, just whole plethora of people.
We said...
they're you guys, their answers were so insightful. I mean, and I hope that as you listen to these thoughts of what these are out of the mouth of babes. You know how that saying is, that you'll reevaluate how you expect and how you extend respect from your own children. Just think about that. What is it that makes you? Oh, okay. You asked the question, Don. I don't think I interrupted you on that. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. That just says what makes you respect someone.
And so think about that for a second. I'm going to interrupt you again. Think about what makes you respect someone. So just think about it for a second. And then we'll just rapid fire the things that we had collected along the way that these kids told us makes them respect someone. And as we're sharing it, I want you to think introspectively. Do I do that? Am I worthy of respect? Am I someone that does these things?
And parents, as we do this, it's not a shaming issue.
Oh gosh,
we're not
no.
trying to shame you and say, "Oh, I don't do this. I'm a terrible parent." In any way, everything in relationships is about what is God showing you so that you can adjust your thinking so you can improve the relationship with your kid. It doesn't matter where you are. It's about where you're going.
Yeah, the way I see it is it's insight, it's revelation, it's opening your eyes to something. I mean, you probably respect the way you've been taught. We don't, as parents, don't know any different either. And so hopefully you'll take this and you'll gather some ideas and some inspiration to connect with your kids in a different way of respect.
So what makes you respect someone, we ask these kids, and
Yeah.
Here's some answers. I respect someone who is passionate, cares about something bigger than themselves. I respect someone who looks to serve and are doing something with their lives. I respect someone who has an opinion and shares it wisely. I guess versus unwisely.
Well, or just shares their
Obnoxious
opinion all
or-
the
yeah.
time. Yeah, just like, oh, I think this, versus saying, would you like to know my opinion? Inviting yourself into it. Because a lot of the times our children don't want to know our opinion because we've got a hidden agenda. And that's probably where that's coming from.
I respect someone who values time and does not like to waste it. I respect when people actually want to get to know about me and learn about me and are interested in the things I'm interested in.
I love that one. I absolutely love that one because parents, we are the ones that get to know our kids and know about them and learn about them more than anybody else. And so for us to hear that out of the mouth of a babe, if you will, it seems to me like it's a cry of my parents aren't paying attention to me, And so just if you change one thing, just get to know your kid. I mean, so powerful.
Even when they don't respond like you want them to,
Yeah,
just keep
well, it's going to take an investment. Yeah.
humble. I respect people who are humble, relatable, cares about my side of things, practices what they preach. So,
Or asks me what my opinions are, cares about my opinions, my ideas.
yeah, I respect someone I can trust. I respect someone who has open communication.
And honest communication and straightforward communication.
Yeah, they tell me their secrets, stuff that really matters to them.
So authentic, real. Good.
Someone who has integrity, what they do when no one is watching.
Mm-hmm.
They have honesty. They have a real awareness of their self and of others.
And humility. I love that one. An understanding of who they are and they're walking it out, that they're humble. I think so many times parents, we act like we know what we're doing, and when we don't, and our kids can see right through that. And so if we just say, oh, you know what, I have no idea about that, or I don't know what to do with that, or we need to look into that, it really earns our kids' respect.
They respect people who have self-control. Mm-hmm. And I know that when I get frustrated with something, that will make my kids look at me with disrespect quicker than anything, it seems like. They don't like when they can do it. It seems
or
like.
get angry over stupid things, like
Yeah.
little small things. Like I'll get frustrated if I'm trying to fix something and it doesn't fix easy, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, and we just think that's part of life, but it can contribute to.
Well, because I totally see the kid's perspective because we're the adult. We're in charge, right? We're in control, and if we don't have self-control over the little things, then.
But what really, what bugs me about that, honestly, is that they do the same thing with their video games or whatever.
But that's not real life.
But it's like it's a double standard sometimes with the kids, especially at that middle school, high school age. it feels like and this is just something I'm relating you to parents that you'll come up against, is it feels like they kind of are judgmental sometimes of what, and so you got,
Because they're trying to figure out their way. So they're
yes,
getting their
exactly.
ideas and their
Yes,
opinions.
and sometimes they, so sometimes that can be, you feel like you're having to hit a really high standard. But what's interesting is on the flip side, what makes them not respect someone?
Yeah, I thought these were super interesting too. I love that I do not respect people who do not know what they think and believe and how they feel. I mean, talk about our whole political climate right now.
They don't like it when people don't fight for what's right. If they roll over,
Yeah.
people that talk too much.
And so note that, parents, I think sometimes we think that the more we lecture, the more we talk, the more information we give, we're going to win our kids over, when in reality, they actually don't respect that.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's the one thing you take away, is you're going to keep your mouth shut when you're talking to your kid, and that will earn you some points in the respect category.
Yeah. Other things, they talk about things they don't know anything about.
I've heard so many parents do that. It goes back up to that one above there. Yeah, that just says, it's okay if you don't know. It's okay, parents. We don't know everything. We don't know a lot.
They don't like being interrupted.
Yeah.
I think that kids get interrupted, especially because the parent thinks they know better what to tell the kid. And in reality, it creates a downward spiral in the relationship. And it creates this lack of respect in the relationship, because if the kid doesn't feel heard, then they're not going to give that respect. That feeling of respect sometimes comes by being heard.
Oh, and so that feeds right into the next one that they said, belittle what I have to say or belittle me. Nothing makes me crazier as an advocate for kids when I am out and about and a parent is just talking to their child like they talk to their dog. It just makes me crazy.
At every age. I mean,
yes.
And
I just want to walk up and tap them on the shoulder and say, remember, they are a person too. They have a soul. They have a heart. They want to be loved and valued and respected just like you do.
And in so many ways, people they don't respect people who don't honor time, or and also parents that complain. I think there's a way when we come in and just that I'm trying to figure out how to say this well. When the parents complain consistently, when complaining is a way of life, that's what makes a kid not respect their parents. It's like, if my dad complains about his job all the time, it's like, go get another job, dude.
I'm 4 years old and I think that.
At some point, go do something different. Quit coming in every day and complain because you're stuck in that job or whatever it is.
Do something about it.
Well,
yeah.
or like the job.
Right.
It's God tells us to do hard things sometimes, and He tells us to do it with joy and patience and all those things. And so sometimes that can be where that is.
Just to move on with that, when they think they're always right, which we've kind of talked about as parents, we always think we have to be right, and if we can die on that, and oh my goodness, parents, if you can say, you know what, you're right here, I agree with you, those are huge respect builders. When you get on your kids' team and say, yeah, I agree, yeah, you're right, I was wrong there, you're right. Okay.
Yeah. I think these other two kind of relate. That they don't share about their personal experiences or only share the good stuff. Mm-hmm. So many times kids can see through our fakeness as we're only sharing. I think when we're real with our kids, it builds respect.
So when we're fake, they don't respect us.
And then when they, and this is kind of just a thing about being a leader, when we tell them to do something we're not willing to do and we're not willing to get in there with them.
That's one of my favorite things about Don. When he does a project, he is out there working as hard, if not harder, than everybody he's got, cutting down tree limbs or pulling weeds
and
or
usually
yard
complaining
work.
Because they're not working hard.
But it's your example, babe. When they do the yards, when they grow up, they'll work hard too.
They work hard for others.
They do, actually.
Instead of me, but that's another story. But I'm complaining here. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Right. We don't want you to think everything's perfect over here at the Manning House.
Cutting others off mid-sentence. Oh my goodness. Yes, that's a rude, degrading tone of voice.
Yeah.
That I'm sure that never happens with you parents, that we're always positive and always uplifting to our kids.
Well, and listen, and so mamas of little girls, if you are someone who likes to gossip, you have got to stop that right now, because you are breeding that into them. And then initially they do not respect you for it. Eventually they're going to join you in it. And so take that captive right now and just pay attention to the words that you're saying.
And so, parents, are you getting a picture here
Yeah.
of what it looks like to earn respect versus what it looks like to lose respect? And because remember, let's go back to the takeaway. The takeaway is when respect is not in a relationship with your kid. What is it? It's a giant red flag. It's that 3 or 7 words, whatever we were going to use.
Giant, humongous,
Yes.
outrageous.
And
All those.
But it needs to set off an alarm. And the alarm is not, hey, you need to respect me. That's what we tend to do. In relationships, when something doesn't happen, the alarm makes us react in a negative way. Instead, what we're trying to do is to flip your thinking into, hey, don't yell at the kid, but think about, oh my goodness, what am I going to do to develop?
So
What am I going to
good.
do to develop that feeling of respect in my kid, to develop that noun so that the verb comes at me?
Exactly. Introspective. Instead of lashing out, go in and say, okay, I need a fresh perspective here. I need a change in the way that I'm interacting with my child. I might need to change my tone of voice. I might need to change. Maybe I just interrupted him. Maybe I need to apologize. Maybe I need to humble myself and say, you know what, you're right in this situation.
And here's, if you have a lack of respect, let's say that, okay, so you've got 4 kids and you think, okay, and one of them is in middle school and it's a girl, and that girl is not respecting you. She is, obnoxious and doesn't listen and, tunes you out and defiant, everything else. Here's your assignment. Go ask those 2 questions about that relationship. What's going to make them respect you? And what's going to make them, what are you doing that's making them not respect you? Just ask the Lord that. Don't ask, you might even ask the kid.
At
or you
some
might
point,
ask,
for
you might
sure.
ask
But yeah, I would just, like you're saying, just take some time and press in and think about it. Maybe take some time and even think to yourself, what makes me respect someone? What makes me not respect someone? And then put that little girl in a situation. What am I doing that maybe if I were in her shoes, I wouldn't respect about myself? What am I doing that I would respect about myself?
And if you do talk about it with the child, and then they tell you, if you get that honesty, okay, no parent excuses at that point.
Right.
Don't come back and say, well, it's the reason is because you come in and do this. And okay, you're done at that point.
You've missed the red flag connection, using respect as an opportunity to interact with your child, because you went back into controlling parenting mode, which is making their child not respect you. Go back up to listen to all the things that makes a child not respect you.
It's an opportunity to ask forgiveness. It's an opportunity to have the
that's
Lord
so
speak to
good.
you. It's an opportunity to listen. And it's just an opportunity, and you'll be amazed over time how, as you do this, that relationship will thaw. And what Suzanne said before, when you start becoming worthy of that feeling of respect, that will start to be mirrored back to you. Mm-hmm. And that's when the relationship starts to thaw. It starts to have respect flowing in and out of it. And all of a sudden you go, wow, this is cool.
Yeah, that's so good. And I was just thought of it just as super practical. When your child interacts with you disrespectfully and you go and you assess the situation, see what you've done wrong and apologize, then ask, can we do a redo? Can we do that whole conversation again? Can I talk to you with respect, and will you talk to me with respect? You might even have to role play it. Hopefully you could include some laughter in there at some point. But if you're on the habit of talking disrespectfully to each other, then you're going to have to draw a line in the sand and maybe practice doing it respectfully. Practice having conversations respectfully, because you only know how to do it disrespectfully.
So wrapping it up, yes, your kid is supposed to respect you. Yes, it's supposed to happen. But if you don't earn respect, parents, and if you don't do things that make that feeling of respect come up in your kid, the respect they give you at best is going to be hollow. at best is going to be in front of your face and not behind your, and not
Just like
gonna-
you did with the teacher when you were a kid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you want real respect, and that's what God wants real respect. He wants real honor in the relationship. He wants real trust. And he wants, and really, as it said in here, a lot of stuff in here was about being real. If you want your kid to be real with you and you want to be able to be real with your kid, then all that's going to happen when you earn that respect. You create that feeling of respect in your kid. So, man, we hope this
I
has
just think
helped
it's
you.
so exciting because you can do it, parents. We believe in you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we have 7 kids that respect us and always have. And it was so fun to even create this podcast because we were able to go back and say, okay, where were the hot spots in our relationships? And so
Where were the red flags?
Where were the red flags? Exactly. You can do it. You can do it. It's been done. We've done it. You can do it.
Yeah. And so go and experiment and try it out. Ask God about it and watch respect build with that troubled kid that's not respecting you. It will happen. God is good. He's going to make it happen. So hopefully this has helped. Go back and listen to podcast 48 as well. And it'll get you a little more practical deal about respect, and you will gain respect all day long with your kids. See you, parents. See you next time.